Good morning, and today I'm doing a little bit of an experiment, a little bit of a thought process, a bit of a video basically about how videos are made on YouTube and the directing process of those videos. There's too many steps here, but yeah, let's go. Alright, so essentially what I tried to show there was the kind of shots that I am essentially doing based on what I've always been influenced by in film. So, to give you a little bit of an idea, basically Peter McKinnon, one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment, and Casey Neistat, who used to be one of my favorites as well, a lot of their directing, a lot of their filmmaking style is very Edgar Wright based. It's very quick, it's cut fast, you have short shots, you got, you have very visceral shots too, where it's showing you exactly what's happening, the shots are telling a story, and they're doing it quickly, to retain an interest in the video, which is great, you know what I mean, that works really well. But essentially what I want to do, and what I did in the past two videos was essentially just sort of copy that idea, just those fast cuts. I thought that was interesting and I tried it out and I liked it, but I kind of realized over the last 2 weeks that in reality I kind of want to find my own style. In reality I want to maybe do something a little bit more unique to myself and maybe take some influence or whatever from directors that I like, rather than from YouTubers directly, because those YouTubers, the ones that are good at the moment, took their influence, or were influenced by filmmakers and directors, while I'm influenced by YouTubers. So obviously there's a little bit of a difference there. Being influenced by a YouTuber to make content similar to that YouTuber isn't going to spike anyone's interest really, but if I can tap into maybe directing styles that I really like, that I think are underutilized on YouTube, like the slow shot that I just showed there, I think that's where it's at. So, alright, getting back to the point, my two favorite directors are Denis Villeneuve and Tarantino. Tarantino mainly because of dialogue, to be honest, and the movies he does are so funny and crazy and weird, but I watched The Hateful Eight recently, and really recently, like last week, and what I noticed was there was these shots early on in the film, in fact they were throughout the film really, they were probably a minute or two long each. It was a long shot of literally just, the snow and a carriage moving really slowly and sluggishly through the snow. And I thought to myself, what is this telling me? You know what I mean? There's parts of me that are watching that shot and I'm kind of like, I'm bored. I want this shot to end so I can see what happens next. But then as it kept going, and it was about 40 seconds into the shot, and I was thinking, why is this so long, right? I was kind of enjoying the fact that they made it so long, because it kind of made me feel like I was there. It made me feel more as if I had to think about the shot. It made me think about the shot, and I think that's interesting, because fast shots don't make you think. They're just telling you directly. It's like the difference between, it's show don't tell, right? So a fast shot is literally just telling you it. This is what's happening, and it's happening quickly. It's very visceral or whatever. With a slow shot, it takes a little bit more time, obviously, but it takes more thinking on not only the director's side but also the viewer's side to kind of figure out what's going on in this shot. Now, I'm not a film major. I'm not even really good at film or whatever. I just like watching films, and this is kind of what I got from watching that. Is that there's a cat down there looking at me weird. Anyway, but what I got from that shot was so much more than I could have got from a short shot, and what I realized after 40-second mark or whatever was that this shot had some really interesting stuff in it that built not only the environment but also the characters without really having to do anything. First thing about the shot was that it had a cross in it, which obviously straight away in the back of my mind I was like, obviously this is a religious, you know, area, obviously these guys are Christians. So when I'm watching the rest of the movie and I'm listening to these guys, I know in the back of my mind that they're probably Christian, which is an interesting way to do it without necessarily telling us any of them are Christian, without them being Christian actually being like, it's not even an important thing in the movie, but they've built the characters of the movie by literally just showing across in the middle of nowhere in a really long shot that made me think these guys are probably Christian, and that's interesting. But not only that, this shot also had a carriage with the 2 or 3 horses or whatever moving really slowly through the snow, and at first I didn't notice really anything other than the fact that they're moving through the snow, but then I started to notice these horses are sluggish. These horses are taking so much time to get from, you know, the back of the shot to the front of the shot, and that made me realize the amount of work that those horses go through. It made me realize that those horses are going to need to be fed or whatever, you know what I mean? And when we get to the next scene, it's very evident that the people in the carriage were very careful of the horses. They said, look, you got to get them in, you got to get them inside, you got to get them fed, almost as much as they cared about themselves, which was, that shot, without that shot, I think I wouldn't have appreciated that as much, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. Not only that, we get to see the snow, we get to see the weather turning bad. We, you know, in that 50 seconds or 1 minute or whatever, we got to see snow coming down, and it was a really interesting time, because usually, you know, I watched Denis Villeneuve as well, one of my favorite directors, and I watched Blade Runner 2049, and I got to watch it again. But I remember just feeling these shots are so long and boring when I was watching it in the past, but for some reason I like that style. It's relaxing, but it puts you into the environment, it puts you into that atmosphere. It gets you more knowledgeable about what the exterior is like, and knowing the exterior atmosphere of a movie or a set or whatever is probably going to teach you quite a lot about the interior, about the characters as well. So, because it's where they live, it's where they're at, you know. So I gotta watch Blade Runner again. Blade Runner was awesome, and Blade Runner 2049, sorry, is the one I'm talking about. That was a great movie. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good second movie for Blade Runner, honestly. But yeah, there were scenes where I was like, this is kind of boring. It's really long as well, but those shots I actually really appreciate. I appreciated them a lot in The Hateful Eight because they offered so much more subconsciously. It's like that, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. But Blade Runner 2049 probably does the same. It probably takes you into the atmosphere, the environment a little bit, which I probably didn't notice the first time, but I did subconsciously, which builds everything in the movie, so I guess that's kind of the aim. So, after all that, I'm going to check my notes. So what I have found is slow shots. With slow shots, in comparison to fast shots, it is more difficult to tell a story, it's more difficult to keep people interested, and in that way, obviously that's why most YouTubers choose to do quick shots. It's why most YouTubers choose to do very visceral and moving shots. While I don't know a YouTuber, I mean, I should probably do some research on that, but I don't know a YouTuber who does really slow movie-like shots. Another film that I was thinking of just there was Roma. This one's pretty crazy. This one really did bore me, I'm not gonna lie. Overall I enjoyed it looking back, but while you're watching it you're really thinking, what is happening right now, come on. Yeah, it was slow, but anyway. The shots in that film are very, very good. They're slow, they build the environment of, you know, old Mexico. Some of those things were really good. And the shots are very, you know, he will record a shot and he won't cut at all for the entire dialogue, which was really, really cool. I love when that happens because you really get to feel, you have a better feeling for what the acting is like in a film when they let the acting breathe without cutting too much, you know. And Roma was definitely a good version of that. But again, so many people are bored by these movies. I was bored by these movies. So is it really a good thing to step into that on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, for people who really enjoy that kind of stuff. I mean, my videos aren't about B-roll. My videos are not about editing or directing or filmmaking or anything really. I do want to make a movie on here, but that's for a different time. But as for the B-roll, I suppose, I know, I mean, I probably will try to change it up. I think I will try and take some influence from the directors that I like watching and try and get them into some kind of YouTube format, I don't know, but it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm going to try it in this video. If you want to tell me what you feel, if you want to tell me if you like it in the comments, go for it. Over the next 30 seconds I'm just going to have some more slow ass shots, I guess.